I remember when I was about 4 months pregnant with Josh. I had not yet felt him move, and I was awaiting that wonderful day. We were in church, and the pastor was preaching in Joshua 1:9, which says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Suddenly, Josh began leaping in my stomach so much you could see my stomach moving around. I told John that if he's a boy, we should name him Joshua. And strong he is from the moment he was born. I went into labor, and the whole experience was literally under 5 minutes from start to finish. The doctor never made it to deliver him, and he came out like an explosion and was our biggest baby at almost 9 pounds. His older sister, Andriana, has been a second mom to him, and her favorite thing to do with him when he was about 3 months old was dress him in baby girl clothes, because she had kind of hoped he would be a girl since she'd already had a brother. So she would dress him and push him around in a baby doll stroller, and Josh just thought she was the coolest. Josh was a very affectionate child, wanting to cuddle and give kisses. Although a fearless rough and tumble boy, he still would give you cuddles and tell you numerous times a day that he loved you. He also is always appreciated and gave his feedback on decorating and organizing the house, even at a young age. It made me think about his future bride and think how incredibly blessed she'll be to have a husband that enjoys cleaning, organizing, and even decorating the house. I remember his gift of discernment when I was pregnant with his little sister, Juliana, and Josh knew from the start she would be a girl. He would always talk about his baby sister before we even knew she was a girl. And I also remember the sweet big brother protective spirit he had when we brought Juliana home from the hospital, and he held her so preciously, stroked her face so gently, and told her how he would protect her and also teach her how to fight. And teach her to fight, he and John Henry did very well. He's always been so courageous. I remember seeing him walking the 9-foot fence in his Superman costume, wielding his sword at 4 years old. His brother John Henry would always come up with crazy stunts to do and have Josh try it out first. I remember they put Walmart bags as parachutes and jumped off the top bunk bed. One time I was out for a run and I saw my boys jumping off the roof onto the trampoline. I could not believe they were on the roof until I saw their dad jumping off the roof right after them. We gratefully have never had one broken bone in our family, but for sure some gray hairs. His most courageous act to date was to ask Mollee Joe's father permission to date her and then to marry her. Anyone who knows Jason Studdard has to respect the amount of bravery that took. But the fact that Jason Studdard gave his permission for his precious jewel to be entrusted with Josh says even more about the outstanding young man he is. And I'm sure there is not another person on earth that would have ever achieved that level of approval from Mollee Joe's beloved father. A beautiful testimony of Mollee and Josh's relationship dates back to September of 2016. I write letters each year to my children and give all of them to read at age 18. I was going through Josh's letters this week, and the September 2016 letter talked about how he'd gone to prom with Mollee that year and that they were connecting, but they decided not to date at that time. They realized that God needed to be first, and they needed to spend time focusing on Him instead of each other. Here, Mollee had the man of her dreams in her hands, and Josh had the woman of his dreams in his hands. And yet they chose God first, because that's how much they love Him. And God honored and rewarded them both for that by still bringing them back together the next year, only this time with a strong, rock-solid foundation to build on. In Matthew 6:33 it says, "Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you." That testimony should speak to all of us in all areas of our lives. They truly are an example to all, young and old. As a mother, I've always dreamed of this day for all my children. I imagine how their wedding would look, the colors. I imagine dancing with my son. And over the years, I often thought about his future bride. Who would she be? What kind of family would she come from? What would she look like? And would she love me as much as I love her? Who would she be? The precious, spunky, God-loving girl we met 12 years ago that we instantly knew there was something very special about her. And in our hearts, we often thought how she could be possibly Josh's future bride. What family would she come from? She would come from a super big, closely bonded family that walks in the Holy Spirit, loves people unconditionally, and serves with a big heart. A family that knows how to overcome and become stronger and more united in the process. A family that takes you in and loves you as their own. What would she look like? She looks like the beautiful young lady that my son has dreamed about his whole life. She looks like his soulmate, his helpmate, and the mother of his future children. Would she love me as much as I love her? There is no doubt in my mind that this wonderful woman that has joined our family already has the deepest amount of love, honor, and respect for us as we do for her and her family. And to you, my Joshie, you have made your dad and I so deeply proud. But nothing compares to the amount of love and pride we feel for you today. When I think of our past and proudest moments, I remember how you've always encouraged others, been a positive light in so many situations, and such a loyal and trusted friend to many. I remember all your accomplishments, your baseball, basketball, and football games, the academic and athletic awards, and all the numerous accomplishments and achievements. But the proudest moment for me, Josh, is with you here today. You and Mollee will be bringing us many more years of blessings and precious memories and even more proud moments. I am so thankful for this increase in our family. We are so blessed with now 7 incredible, amazing children that everything their hand touches prospers, that they are blessed to be a blessing, and that they walk in favor everywhere they go. They have created a legacy in the Johnson family. I love you dearly, Joshua and Mollee Jo Johnson.